So, I want to talk to you about the word control. Or rather, I want to share with you what it is that I think you mean when you use that word with regards to your voice. Or even what it is that you're really looking for when you desire more control with your voice. And you might be thinking, how do you know I want more control of my voice? Because we all do, and because you're a human, and this is part of the human condition. But specifically speaking, over the years, I've observed that there are three main things that people express that they struggle with as it relates to their voice, technically speaking. The first and most common thing that people reference is their relationship to their voice and their breath, feeling like they don't have a command over what it means to breathe well for their voice, or specifically even for singing, that they find themselves often running out of air or that their breath is just not efficient in their body. And then the second thing that people almost always express is the desire to have access to more notes, to either be able to sing higher or lower, or to navigate that break, that gap in the middle of their voice. And they just want to be able to move throughout their voice with more freedom and ease, but ultimately access more. Do either of those things sound like you? I bet they do. And then the third thing that people often say is that they just wish they had more control of their voice. And sometimes I'll push back and say, can you be more specific? Can you tell me what that means? And maybe they can, but generally this is referring to an overall sense or an overall feeling that they should be able to ask more of their voice, that there isn't a reliability in what it is that they're able to do. At times, they might even feel victim to their voice and what it is that comes out of their mouth. And so I started to get curious about this word control. Because I know this experience. I know these experiences in my own body. I know what it is to struggle for certain sounds. I know what it is to feel as though I've been taken by surprise with my instrument. I know what it is to just want more. But this word, why do I use it? And why do you use it? And why does it feel so good to cling to it? And why does it feel so damn elusive? Let's take a step back from your voice for a second and just look at your life. How's controlling things working out for you? Because it's not working out so well for me. It seems like it's almost on the daily that I'm reminded about the ways in which I just grasp and cling in an effort to keep things in a way, in a shape, in a line that feels like it will suit my needs, my desires, my wants, the trajectory I imagine for my future, my aspirations, my dreams, and yet they are thwarted. So often I find myself flat on my back, having to learn a lesson the hard way. I think about this as it relates to singing, and I think about the number of times that I've had a big show, a big performance, a big opportunity coming up, and I've done everything in my power to not get sick. I've avoided all the people I've needed to avoid. I've worn a mask. I've done everything. I've taken the extra vitamins. And wouldn't you know, the night before the thing that I'm supposed to do, I start to feel a tickle in my throat. Does that sound familiar? Have you been there? And you think to yourself, how could this be? How is this possible? Of all the things that weren't supposed to happen now, how? Why? Or if you want a real quick lesson in control, you should just try traveling somewhere. In fact, if you really want to learn about control, you should try traveling by airplane. Walking into the airport, having your bags checked, walking up to the little board that tells you what time your flight is going to take off, only to see that it's been canceled. Knowing that you will miss your plans, going to the desk and complaining and arguing and getting angry and calling on the phone and looking for any other option only to find out that you are stuck where you are for that night. What a disappointing and frustrating lesson in control. And yet we know it. You know it. You know when you book the flight that it could get canceled. And you know that when you agreed to sing at that event that you could get sick. You know that that's possible. And you know that all of your striving and all of your grasping and all of your clinging and all of your potions, they somehow didn't ultimately prevent that from happening. And so you, like me, you say the serenity prayer. You quote the phrase, let go and let God. And then you go to your voice coaching session and you ask for more control, please. I'd like more control. What can you do? How can you help me get more control? Here's the thing about this word control. It's a both and kind of word. You have to be able to understand the both and-ness of it in order to relate to it properly, not only in your voice, but in your life. The truth of control is that it's a myth. Did you catch that? The truth of control is that it's a myth. But the myth is around ultimate control. Certainly, I have relative control over aspects of my life. I mean, when I walk, does my left foot move in front of my right? And then vice versa, and vice versa, and vice versa. Most often, yes. When I open my mouth to use my voice, does a sound come out? Likely, yes. 9 times out of 10, these things happen until they don't. And it's that 10th time that'll really take you by surprise. It's the 10th time that reminds you that your sense of relative control is not, in fact, ultimate. That the belief that you have undertaken, that has taken over you, that you are in control of the people around you, that you are in control of outcomes, that you are in control and the master of your own destiny. It's not exactly true. And you believed the bullshit, just like we all do, but then you walked up and the flight was canceled, or you started to feel that little bit of a tickle in your throat. This is the both and of control. This is the both and of life. This is the paradox that we are constantly navigating. But control as it relates to your voice, generally what people are asking for is to be able to coordinate the sound better in their body, to be able to feel like there's, like I said, more reliability in what it is that they do. And I've got good news. A lot of this falls in the relative control category, and you can totally get more of it. I can actually help you with it. There are ways in which you can understand the mechanism of your voice and how it relates to your body and how your body relates to it and how it is that you stand and how it is that you breathe and how it is that you shape your mouth. And there are ways in which I can guide you into making new and different sounds. And there are ways in which you can experience your voice in your body that through repetition will lead you to an experience of having more control, or at least more reliability. You'll feel like the sounds that you want to show up routinely are more likely to do so. But the reason I'm talking about this at all is because I've seen people on the other side. I've seen people that have more relative control. I've seen people that do have more coordination with their voice when they used to not. I've seen people who have more reliability in their instrument. I've seen people that have developed a deeper trust of their voice through this work. And I've noticed that almost never do they refer to those experiences as having more control or even being in control. In fact, what they say most often is simply that they feel more free. I mean, listen to that. What they say most often is simply that they feel more free. Your desire for more control is likely your desire for more of that which you already know. Because that which you already know, it feels like it carries with it the possibility of predictability. It feels like it carries with it the possibility of safety. It feels like it carries with it the possibility of you determining the outcome. And you know what? It's a myth. It's a lie. It's not the truth. It's your mind's way of trying to keep you safe and ultimately keeping you small. I'm telling you, there is a possibility that is so much bigger, so much wilder, so much more unexpected, so much crazier, something that feels different than you possibly could have imagined, something that carries with it an incredible possibility, and it feels so free and so open and so good that you don't even care about control. Control is not even in your vocabulary. It's not something you even think to say. You just feel free. You just feel free to let things be what they are. And sure, at times they are unexpected, but they don't land like they used to. They don't take you down like they used to. They don't happen as often because you're not trying to control them so damn much. And you're probably thinking, well, I still have to be able to hit the notes, don't I, Davin? Like, I still have to be able to open my mouth and know what's going to come out. And yes, by all means. And like I said, this is something that we can do. But I really think about that process, the process of developing new neurological pathways so as to coordinate your body differently. The process of taking you through new exercises that create new coordinations in your body that open up new possibilities. The outcome of these is not to try to control what you've done in the past. It's to unfold to what is in the future. Now, sure, a part of this is undoing. A part of this is untangling the past because control, ooh, he's feisty. He likes to hang on. I mean, think about it like this. If you take your fist right now and you squeeze your fist, you squeeze it as tight as you can. Go ahead and do that. Just do it wherever you are right now. Squeeze, 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 and then release your fist. Does your palm immediately become open? No, it stays in this contracted posture. And over time, through some gentle encouragement, you might find your way back into something more expansive and open. And this is very much the work that we do as it relates to the voice. When we've had fear, when we've had mistrust, when we felt like our voice is unreliable, our instinct is to try to control by squeezing, and I mean that literally. Constriction, tension, tightness, these are the enemies of the voice, and they're the ways in which we try to hang on, we try to feel safe. And so when I take you into new experiences, new sounds, new exercises, I'm trying to get those muscles that are so accustomed to protecting you to behave differently, to behave more spontaneously, to behave in a way that feels more fluid, that feels more easy, that feels like it's not life or death that's at stake, to feel like the only possibility is actually just more life and more freedom. Control in your body feels like a tight stomach. Control in your body, particularly as it relates to your voice, feels like a tight throat. Control in your body feels like a clenched jaw. Control in your body feels like a retracted tongue. These are all actual ways in which singers struggle to make new sounds because they're trying to maintain control. And so someone like me can say to them, hey, what would it be like if you expanded your chest and your torso and you didn't contract your abdomen? What would it be like if you allowed your tongue to relax in your mouth? What would it be like if you didn't clench your jaw, if you actually opened your mouth to shape the vowel? What would it be like to breathe deeply into your lower abdomen? And when I ask these questions and I make these requests, every part of your psyche and your being will go, I'm curious about that, but I don't know. And then when you try it and it feels different, it feels weird, it feels strange, you go, I really don't know about this. But then you do it again. And then you do it again because you're willing, you're playful, you're here for change, you're open to that which you don't know. You know what it is to stand at the board and see that your plane is canceled. You know what it is to get sick on the night before you have to do that big thing. And so you're willing to try something different, something new. And it turns out that when you do it, it's just weird enough and just curious enough to want to do more. And so you do more. And then after a while, it starts to integrate into who you are. So much so that you're not even thinking about it. You just know that things feel better. In fact, you just know that you're feeling freer. And this free feeling, it doesn't feel anything like you imagined control. You only knew what it was that you knew. And so you only knew to want more of it. But now you know something different, something completely different. And the world has opened up to you. Your voice has opened up to you. Sounds have opened up to you. Your perception of your whole self has opened up to you. And it carries the hallmark of freedom. It needs not control because that just wasn't working. It wasn't working. So when you said it, you were well intentioned. You meant the best. But you didn't know what it is that you know now. And even with that, all of that new information, you, like me, you'll backpedal sometimes. You'll try to grab the steering wheel when you're not driving. You'll make a plan that you have no question in your mind will succeed. You will sing a sound with the absolute assuredness that it will come out how you want it to, only to be met with a crack. And I gotta tell you, that's a gift. Because it's in that moment that once again, you are going to get free. And you're going to get free again. And you're going to get free again. And you're going to get free again. Because that's what we're doing here. We're using our voice because we know it's the most efficient, most noble, most playful, most enjoyable, most out of control path to freedom. All right, that's another episode of The Sound of You. I think you'll find this entertaining. I recorded all of that yesterday. I went home, went to bed to sleep on it, and during the night I woke up with a tickle in my throat. Isn't that how the universe works? I'm totally sick in some way, shape, or form. I actually feel all right, but you can hear that there's a little bit extra gunk going on, and so I'm glad I got that done when I did. And I'm glad I'm able to share that with you, and I'm glad I'm able to teach myself a lesson of how little control I actually have. And when I let go of it, on the other side, I might just uncover freedom. Speaking of freedom, I am gathering your interest in my group coaching program that's going to launch this spring. It's called Free Your Voice, Free Your Life. It's a 6-month program. It's a deep dive immersion with a group of kick-ass people who are looking to uncover and discover all that is their voice and reap the benefits of what it is that can come with that. Like I said, noble, playful, energizing, life-giving journey. So if you are interested in that, head to my website, davinyoungsvoice.com. There's a little pop-up there where you can register your interest. You can also just shoot me a DM on Instagram or on Twitter and just tell me you want to get more information. That information is forthcoming. I've already gotten some cool folks that are into this. So I'm really, really looking forward to launching that, and there will be a lot more specifics coming forth about that soon. But I need to hear from you. I need to know that you're game to do this with me. And really just, finally take the plunge, finally dive deep into this experience that is your voice, to really know the sound of you. If you like this episode, please leave a review. Please tell people what you think. Please share it with others. Send it in a text message. Tag me on social media. If you have any questions you'd like for me to answer here on the podcast, I really want to hear those from you. You can email me, Davin at Davin Youngs Voice, or again, shoot me a DM on Instagram at Davin Youngs. And okay, I think that's it for now. I'm going to give my voice a rest. I'm going to get my whole body a rest. Until next time, peace.